As we get older, our bodies become more sensitive to what we eat, especially fats and inflammatory compounds. And nuts, which are often seen as healthy, can be either healing or harmful depending on the type, preparation, and quality. In this video, I'll show you exactly which 3 nuts seniors must avoid and the 3 you should be eating regularly to support brain health, joint mobility, and even metabolic resilience. So if you're over 50 and want to avoid the hidden dangers hiding in your snack bowl, this is for you. Let's get into it. Certain nuts, often marketed as healthy snacks, can actually be pro-inflammatory, especially when they are roasted in seed oils. For seniors who already face increased oxidative stress and joint wear due to aging, this creates a hidden danger. The assumption is that all nuts are inherently good for health, but the truth lies in the type of nut, how it's processed, and what oils or additives are used. One of the biggest culprits? Highly processed commercial nuts that are roasted in industrial seed oils like soybean, canola, cottonseed, or sunflower oil. Seed oils are high in omega-6 fatty acids, particularly the linoleic acid. While omega-6 is essential in small amounts, the modern diet has tipped the balance far too heavily in its favor, leaving omega-3 intake in the dust. This omega-6 dominance fuels chronic inflammation throughout the body, and in seniors, this shows up in the joints, arteries, and brain. When nuts are soaked in seed oils and then roasted at high temperatures, the oil becomes oxidized. That oxidation produces free radicals, unstable molecules that damage cellular membranes, proteins, and DNA. Over time, this oxidative stress compounds the aging process and worsens conditions like arthritis, atherosclerosis, and cognitive decline. Moreover, the roasting process itself alters the nut's fat composition. Many healthy fats found in raw nuts, like monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, become unstable when exposed to heat. This further increases the oxidative load. Seniors who already have a reduced antioxidant defense system, such as lower levels of glutathione or CoQ10, are more vulnerable to the effects. These free radicals not only aggravate pain and stiffness in the joints, but also compromise mitochondrial function, reducing the body's ability to generate energy efficiently. Another concern is the presence of acrylamides, chemical byproducts that form when carbohydrate-rich foods like nuts are roasted or fried at high temperatures. Acrylamides have been linked to increased cancer risk, and their effect on inflammation pathways is becoming more evident in scientific literature. For someone over 60, where cellular regeneration slows down and detox pathways are often impaired, this added toxic load can be damaging. Additionally, commercial roasted nuts are often salted with refined table salt and contain preservatives to extend shelf life. This type of salt lacks the trace minerals that natural sea salt contains and may contribute to water retention and elevated blood pressure. The additives, meanwhile, can burden the liver, your primary detox organ, which is already under strain with age. To make matters worse, many roasted nuts found in supermarkets are packaged in plastic and stored under fluorescent lighting, further exposing them to oxidative stress before you even open the bag. When seniors consume these nuts regularly, they're unknowingly feeding inflammation at a cellular level, especially in vulnerable areas like the knees, hips, and lower back. The stiffness, swelling, and fatigue they experience afterward may not be due to aging alone, but to the bioinflammation promoted by their snack choices. Many commonly consumed nuts, while often promoted as heart-healthy snacks, are surprisingly high in omega-6 fatty acids, specifically linoleic acid. While omega-6 is technically an essential fatty acid, meaning the body cannot produce it and must obtain it from food, it becomes harmful when consumed in excess. The real issue lies in the balance between omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids. Historically, human diets maintained a ratio close to 1:1 or 2:1, favoring omega-3s slightly. Today, however, that ratio has shifted dramatically, sometimes reaching 21 or more in favor of omega-6. This imbalance is one of the leading contributors to chronic inflammation in the body. Nuts like peanuts, technically a legume, Cashews, sunflower seeds, and even almonds contain high amounts of omega-6 fatty acids. When these are consumed frequently without enough omega-3s to counterbalance them, such as those found in wild-caught salmon, sardines, flaxseed, or chia, they begin to create a pro-similarity environment in the body. Chronic inflammation is not just a vague or theoretical issue, it's a root driver of many age diseases, including arthritis, cardiovascular disease, insulin resistance, and even neurodegeneration. For seniors whose systems are already under more oxidative stress and who often struggle with joint pain or declining cognitive function, adding fuel to the inflammatory fire can have serious consequences. High omega-6 intake without a corresponding omega-3 correction can worsen stiffness, swelling, fatigue, and brain fog. It can also accelerate aging at the cellular level by increasing the production of procellular molecules like prostaglandins, leukotrienes, and cytokines. What's more, linoleic acid from omega-6 fats easily integrates into cell membranes, making them more susceptible to oxidative damage. When these fatty acids are oxidized, especially under conditions of heat, as in roasted nuts, they produce harmful compounds called lipid peroxides. These compounds damage mitochondrial function, impair energy production, and create DNA-damaging free radicals. In simpler terms, your cells age faster, regenerate slower, and work less efficiently. Over time, this metabolic imbalance can even affect insulin signaling. Omega-6 dominance has been linked to increased insulin resistance, which in turn leads to higher blood sugar, more fat storage, and decreased muscle mass, particularly problematic for seniors trying to preserve mobility and lean tissue. Even the cardiovascular system takes a hit, as excess omega-6s are known to promote endothelial dysfunction. The inner lining of blood vessels becomes less responsive, stiffer, and more prone to plaque formation. It's also important to note that many seniors turn to nuts as a convenient source of protein or healthy fats, unaware of the omega-6 load they're taking on. They may be avoiding fried foods or vegetable oils, but still over-consuming omega-6 through what seems like a wholesome trail mix. Without increasing their intake of omega-3 rich foods or reducing omega-6 sources, they're unintentionally maintaining an inflammatory terrain that undermines their efforts toward healthy aging. Even plant-based eaters who rely heavily on nuts and seeds for fats and calories must be particularly mindful. Without sufficient dietary EPA and DHA, the bioavailable forms of omega-3 found in animal sources, the imbalance worsens. The consequences show up subtly at first: slower recovery from exercise, poor sleep, aching joints, low energy, and mental fog. Over time, these symptoms compound, and what started as a minor dietary oversight turns into a major contributor to decline in quality of life. Some commercially available nuts, though marketed as healthy snacks, are coated with added sugars, preservatives, or flavoring agents that can severely disrupt metabolic health, especially in individuals over the age of 60. These additives may not seem harmful at first glance, but they create a cascade of negative effects within the body, particularly in those already vulnerable to insulin resistance, sluggish metabolism, and chronic inflammation. Many flavored nut products, such as honey roasted peanuts, glazed pecans, cinnamon almonds, or trail mixes, contain hidden sugars that spike insulin levels. When insulin is repeatedly stimulated by refined sugars, especially in the absence of physical activity or muscle building signals, it leads to fat storage, increased belly fat, and worsened insulin sensitivity. For seniors whose insulin function may already be impaired due to age decline or pre-existing metabolic conditions, these spikes can quickly tip the body into a pre-diabetic or diabetic state. These sugar coatings don't just raise blood glucose levels, they also provoke inflammation. Consistently high insulin and glucose levels increase the production of advanced glycation end products, AGAs, which are toxic compounds that damage tissues, stiffen blood vessels, and impair circulation. This is especially problematic for seniors who may already be experiencing reduced vascular elasticity, compromised kidney function, or early signs of cognitive decline. The sugars in sweetened nuts fuel these hidden processes, silently aging the body from within. In addition to sugars, many nuts are treated with chemical preservatives like BHT, TBHQ, or sodium metabisulfite to extend shelf life and prevent rancidity. These preservatives are not benign. Over time, they add to the body's toxic load, burden the liver, and may impair gut health. For older adults whose detoxification capacity is often diminished, these compounds can accumulate, triggering low-grade inflammation, fatigue, and digestive discomfort. Artificial flavorings and colorings used in certain nut products may further interfere with hormonal balance and neurological function. For example, synthetic vanillin or artificial caramel flavor can alter the body's satiety signals, making it harder to recognize fullness. This can lead to overeating and unintended weight gain, two major concerns for people trying to manage blood sugar or joint strain in later life. Even savory or natural nut varieties aren't always safe. Some are glazed with maltodextrin or other high glycemic starches that act just like sugar in the body. Others are coated with canola oil, soybean oil, or other inflammatory seed oils before roasting. These not only drive omega-6 overload, but also contribute to insulin resistance and liver stress. When sugar and poor quality fats are combined, as they often are in packaged nut products, the result is a metabolic double hit, elevating both blood sugar and systemic inflammation. For people over 60, this becomes especially dangerous. The body's ability to regulate insulin, maintain lean muscle, and detoxify harmful substances is significantly reduced compared to younger individuals. What might be a minor metabolic hit for someone in their 30s or 40s becomes a serious health setback for a senior. Muscle mass diminishes faster, fat is stored more easily, and energy levels plummet. Moreover, these processed nuts create a misleading impression. Because they're still technically nuts, many assume they're a healthy snack and may consume them in large quantities, thinking they're nourishing their body. But what they're really doing is flooding the bloodstream with glucose and inflammatory compounds, all while delivering very little real nutrition. This nutritional deception can quietly sabotage the health goals of well-meaning seniors who are trying to stay active, protect their brain, and preserve mobility well into older age. Raw, nutrient-dense nuts can be powerful tools for brain, heart, and joint support if you choose the right ones. Not all nuts are created equal, and their benefits depend heavily on whether they are consumed in their raw, unprocessed form. When selected wisely, certain nuts can deliver a potent cocktail of healthy fats, antioxidants, trace minerals, and anti-inflammatory compounds that support the aging body on multiple levels. For the brain, raw nuts provide essential fatty acids, particularly monounsaturated fats, and small amounts of omega-3s that help nourish the brain's cellular membranes. The brain is nearly 60% fat by weight, and its performance is directly influenced by the types of fat consumed. Walnuts, for example, contain alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3 that supports cognitive function, memory, and neuronal resilience. These fatty acids also help modulate inflammation in the brain, which is a known driver of age, cognitive decline, and diseases such as dementia and Alzheimer's. In addition to fats, nuts are rich in vitamin E, a powerful fat-soluble antioxidant that protects neurons from oxidative damage. Oxidative stress can degrade brain function over time, especially in seniors who are already facing a reduction in natural antioxidant defenses. Almonds, hazelnuts, and pine nuts are particularly high in vitamin E and help to preserve brain integrity by neutralizing free radicals and supporting the integrity of myelin sheaths that insulate nerve fibers. Raw nuts also benefit cardiovascular health in profound ways. They are a natural source of magnesium, which relaxes blood vessels, reduces arterial stiffness, and helps regulate blood pressure. Magnesium is essential for the proper contraction and relaxation of the heart muscle and plays a role in preventing arrhythmias. Pistachios and cashews are excellent sources of this mineral, supporting smooth blood flow and lowering the risk of hypertension. Furthermore, raw nuts contain plant sterols and arginine, which promote nitric oxide production, a compound that dilates blood vessels and improves endothelial function. Improved circulation ensures that oxygen and nutrients reach all tissues more efficiently, from the brain to the muscles. By helping keep arteries clear and flexible, nuts like almonds and walnuts contribute to a healthier heart and reduce the risk of stroke and coronary artery disease. Joints also benefit from raw anti-immune nuts. Brazil nuts, for instance, contain selenium, a trace mineral that plays a crucial role in reducing oxidative stress and modulating the immune response, both of which are important for joint health. Selenium deficiencies are associated with joint stiffness and autoimmune issues such as rheumatoid arthritis. Meanwhile, magnesium and manganese in raw nuts support the structural integrity of cartilage and collagen, the tissues that cushion joints and allow for smooth movement. Importantly, raw nuts retain their enzymes and bioactive compounds, which are often destroyed during roasting or processing. These enzymes aid digestion and allow better absorption of minerals, especially in seniors who may already have compromised digestive capacity. Soaking or sprouting raw nuts can further enhance their digestibility and reduce anti-nutrients like phytic acid, which can interfere with mineral absorption. When chosen carefully and consumed in moderation, raw, nutrient-rich nuts offer more than just a satisfying crunch. They provide critical support to three of the most vital systems in the aging body: the brain, the heart, and the joints. Magnesium, selenium, and healthy fats in specific nuts make them essential for mobility, cognition, and even stroke prevention. As we age, our bodies undergo a series of physiological changes that affect muscle strength, brain function, and vascular integrity. Targeting these areas through nutrient-dense foods becomes crucial, and few foods pack as much of a multi-system punch as raw whole nuts. But not just any nuts. Only those rich in specific minerals and fats can truly support the foundational systems of mobility and neurological protection. Magnesium is one of the most underrated minerals for seniors. It's essential for over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, and many of these reactions influence muscular contraction, nerve transmission, and blood pressure regulation. Without adequate magnesium, the muscles may cramp, fatigue easily, or fail to regenerate properly after strain or injury. Nuts such as almonds, cashews, and Brazil nuts contain significant levels of magnesium. When consumed regularly, these nuts can help improve lower body strength, reduce the risk of falls, and enhance muscular responsiveness, especially in aging adults who are often magnesium deficient due to poor absorption or medication interference. In addition to mobility, magnesium also plays a protective role in cognitive function. The brain relies on magnesium to regulate synaptic plasticity, the mechanism that allows neurons to communicate, adapt, and store memories. A deficiency in magnesium can lead to impaired learning, poor focus, and even depression. Emerging research suggests that higher magnesium intake is associated with better overall cognitive performance in older adults, especially when it's obtained from natural food sources. Nuts provide a bioavailable form of this mineral, supporting both muscular and mental agility. Selenium is another powerful micronutrient found in select nuts, most notably Brazil nuts. Just 1 or 2 Brazil nuts per day can provide the full daily recommended intake of selenium, a mineral essential for the production of glutathione peroxidase, the body's most potent endogenous antioxidant. Selenium helps to combat oxidative stress in the brain and joints, areas particularly vulnerable to age degeneration. It's also critical in modulating inflammation and immune response, offering protection against autoimmune conditions that may attack the joints or nerves. Furthermore, selenium's neuroprotective properties are linked to lower risks of cognitive decline and neurodegenerative diseases. Studies have shown that individuals with low selenium levels are more likely to develop Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. This trace mineral supports thyroid health as well, which indirectly influences metabolism, energy levels, and cognitive clarity. Healthy fats, especially monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats found in nuts like walnuts, macadamias, and hazelnuts, contribute to vascular flexibility and improved blood lipid profiles. These fats help reduce inflammation in blood vessels and lower LDL cholesterol, a major contributor to arterial plaque buildup. More importantly, they enhance the structural integrity of cell membranes in both neurons and muscle fibers. This makes them invaluable for preventing stroke and maintaining smooth communication between cells. Omega-3 fatty acids, particularly ALA found in walnuts, support the brain's gray matter and reduce the kind of silent inflammation that underlies most chronic diseases. In the context of stroke prevention, these fats improve circulation, reduce clot formation, and enhance endothelial function, protecting the brain from ischemic events. When magnesium, selenium, and healthy fats are consumed together through whole foods like raw nuts, they form a powerful, synergistic defense system against age decline.